You wake up and check your phone. Nothing. The message you sent? Still unread. Or worse, read but no reply. Your chest tightens. You try to shake it off, but it lingers. It's not just the silence. It's what it means to you. It's what you've linked to it. Validation, connection, worth. That, right there, is anxiety. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet, like a hum under your skin. You can scroll all day, blast music, lift heavier weights, dive into work, but that hum stays. Why? Because the pain isn't physical. It's psychological. And psychology doesn't get tricked by noise. Now combine that with rejection. A door that slams shut when you least expect it. A no when your soul hoped for a yes. You gave effort, time, emotion, maybe even vulnerability. And they said no. Maybe they said nothing at all. Add ghosting on top. No explanation, no goodbye, just absence, ambiguity. You're left not just with unanswered questions, but with a self-interrogation that won't stop. Modern men are bleeding emotionally in silence, drowning in overthinking, but masking it with performance. Lifting more, posting more, working more, hoping achievement can compensate for the ache. It can't. And here's the hard truth. The modern world isn't going to teach you how to deal with it. It will tell you to man up or move on, but it won't teach you how to process, regulate, and lead yourself through emotional storms. That's where Stoicism comes in. Because Stoicism for men isn't about suppressing emotion. It's about transforming your relationship with it. It's not avoidance. It's authority. It's not denial. It's discipline. It's not apathy. It's alignment. A Stoic man doesn't let anxiety define his identity. He observes it. He listens to it, but he doesn't bow to it. So how does he deal with anxiety? He begins in the body. When the mind is chaotic, he brings the body into order. He breathes deeply. He grounds his feet. He lifts with purpose, not ego. He walks in silence. No headphones, just breath, just presence. He remembers. The nervous system listens to the body more than the thoughts. Then he questions the story. Is this fear real or rehearsed? Is this pain true or projected? Is this a pattern or a principle I'm betraying? He journals, not to rant, but to reveal. He asks, what's in my control? What outcome am I clinging to? Where am I leaking my peace to people who don't even know my value? Anxiety shrinks when inspected. It feeds off imagination, but it dies under interrogation. Now, let's talk rejection. Most men fear rejection because they tie it to identity. She says no. It must mean you're not enough, but a Stoic man doesn't attach his worth to someone else's capacity to receive him. Rejection to him is either redirection or reflection. Either it points toward a better path, or it reveals a part of him that needs alignment, but it never defines him. He asks, was I honest? Was I intentional? Did I compromise just to be accepted? If he stayed true, then rejection is proof that he didn't lower his standard. If he strayed, then it's a call to come home to his values. Either way, it's not failure. It's formation. Now ghosting. Ah, yes, the disappearing act. The digital hit and run. This isn't just silence. It's betrayal without the dignity of closure. But a Stoic man doesn't beg ghosts to speak. He doesn't write novels to the unavailable. He doesn't build identity around ambiguity. He grieves the loss. Silently, cleanly. Then he says, I did my part. I showed up whole. Their absence isn't a verdict on my worth. It's a mirror of their capacity. He doesn't spiral. He solidifies. He builds closure from within. He doesn't need a final message to move forward. His direction is not dictated by those who disappeared. It's fueled by what he's building, internally and externally. And here's where it gets powerful. The Stoic doesn't just react better. He prepares better. He doesn't wait for emotional collapse to seek clarity. He builds it daily, through morning solitude, through breathwork, through journaling. Where did I act from ego today? What truth did I avoid? What fear did I let steer me? He practices negative visualization, premeditatio malorum. He imagines worst-case scenarios, not to scare himself, but to train himself. So when life throws silence, rejection, betrayal, he doesn't collapse. He's already made peace with those storms. He trains not just for strength, but for stillness, not just for results, but for resilience, not just to attract others, but to align with himself. And in doing so, he becomes magnetic. Because in a world full of reaction, his calm is rare. In a world full of chasing, his presence is gravity. In a world full of men performing for approval, he lives in alignment, whether or not he's applauded. That's why he doesn't need to explain himself. That's why he doesn't lower himself to be understood. That's why rejection becomes irrelevant, and ghosting becomes a gift. Proof of who never deserved access in the first place. He walks differently. He speaks slower. He observes longer. He asks better questions, not just of others, but of himself. Because his character isn't built from compliments. It's built in conflict, in rejection, in the silence no one sees. So when you feel anxious, pause. Check your breath. Check your posture. Check your thoughts. Ask, where did I place control outside myself? Then take it back. When you feel rejected, pause. Don't perform. Don't chase. Ask, am I actually hurt? Or did I just dodge misalignment? When you feel ghosted, pause. Let the silence reveal their limitation. Don't let it question your identity. And from that place of clarity, build, not to impress, but to endure. You don't need more replies to feel validated. You don't need more attention to feel seen. You need congruence. You need quiet rituals that no one claps for, but that shape who you are when no one's watching. That's Stoicism for men. That's what makes you calm under pressure, clear when others are lost, grounded when emotions pull at your peace. So start today. Journal before you scroll. Breathe before you reply. Detach before you invest. Observe before you react. And lead yourself first. Because when life gets chaotic again, and it will, you won't just survive it. You'll stand through it. And when they ask, how are you so unshaken? You'll simply say, I trained for this. But here's what they won't see. They won't see the mornings you sat in silence while the world scrolled mindlessly. They won't see the nights you faced your fears alone and still chose peace. They won't see the journal pages filled with questions only you had the courage to ask. They won't see the ghosts you buried, not out of anger, but out of mercy. They won't see the moments when you almost texted her again, but chose self-respect over self-sabotage. And that's okay. Because this path, the Stoic path, isn't about applause. It's about alignment. It's not about who notices you. It's about who you become when no one's watching. The world may never reward your restraint, but your soul will. You'll walk lighter, stand taller, speak slower, decide clearer, love deeper but attach less. You'll become the man who doesn't just know Stoicism, you embody it. You won't need to prove yourself, because your presence already speaks what words cannot. And maybe, just maybe, that calm you carry, that strength in your silence, that peace in your posture, mapapua, will inspire another man to stop chasing validation and start building value. And just like that, your reign begins, not with domination, but with discipline, not with force, but with focus. You become a Stoic, not when you know the quotes, but when your life becomes the quote. So breathe, walk, building lead, detach, choose, and reign. This is Stoic reign, and you're not just watching it, you're living it.